there's a horrific undercurrent of far-right hatred, and you don't want to get vaccinated? Are you a moron? And now I've got Chewbacca ass. You know what that is? Fat, bloated Elvis? No, no, no. You should have quit earlier, because I should be free to be able to spread disease. Yeah, they're the enemy. The far left are also knuckleheads. Oh, you're going to get an ass beating. You know, don't start something you don't want to finish.
Story last month where you talked about people refusing the vaccine, called them the enemy. It was massive. We got so much reader response on that on both sides. What was your fallout from that? I mean, I'm sure you heard from people as well.
The negative response is, I understand it's a passionate thing, but the logic of it just evades me. It's the stupidity. And I blame politicians again for politicizing this thing. You have no choice when you're a child entering school. You get your flu shot, you get your this shot, malaria shot, all kinds of shots. When you enter the military, you stand still and you get shot up with all kinds of vaccines so that you don't infect other people. If you have the measles, you're quarantined so that the rest of us, it's not about your personal rights. It's about my rights. I don't want you getting everybody else sick. So let's simplify it for the morons out there. When you yawn privately at home, I wake up in the morning and I go, oh, and my mouth is like the gateway to hell. It's as wide open as I want it to be. When you're around people, don't you, just as a courtesy, put your hand in front of your mouth? Oh, don't you do that? That's not a life-threatening thing. And you don't want to get vaccinated? Are you a moron? And when you sneeze, don't you put your hand in front? Not because you're threatening somebody else's life, but maybe they might catch your little cold. And you don't want to get vaccinated because you don't want, because I should be free to be able to spread disease. Yeah, they're the enemy. And we should remember, once the pandemic is over, and it will be over, we'll be able to nullify it a little bit. Remember the next door neighbor that didn't care enough about you to protect you. Yeah, there should be repercussion. And right now, there are military folks in America who are being thrown out of the military, and cops who won't get vaccinated. They're asked politely to leave. You can't wear a uniform and have authority and go and infect people, potentially, whether it's life-threatening or not. I don't want somebody increasing my chance of getting a paper cut, much less COVID. Why would I give you that right? So it's not about curtailing other people's rights. You should have all the rights you want on top of a mountain. You know, go to Nome, Alaska, stay on top of the mountain and shit in your diapers. I don't care. Nobody cares. But even in public, you can't, because we don't want to smell your shit. Because the rest of us have to live around you, you selfish bastard. Yeah, they are the enemy.
Wow. Eloquently put, Mr. Simmons.
They care about themselves more than you.
You wrote an op-ed for our paper in 2017. You said the best course for people, right side, left side of the political spectrum, was to agree to disagree. Here we are in 2021. Do you think that's still the case?
Yeah. The problem is that left side and right side simply don't speak. The one thing that people forget about is, no matter how you think and what you think, everybody's still just a human being. The other thing is that in times of emergency, people forget that right before World War II, there were isolationists and nationalists and all kinds of ists. And as soon as the Japanese made a big mistake and attacked Pearl Harbor, and as soon as the Germans thought, oh, the Americans will never come over, all of a sudden the pacifists and the Canadians and the Americans and the rest of the civilized world go, oh, you're going to get an ass beating. You know, don't start something you don't want to finish. And they got their ass handed to them. I have my own personal opinions about the atom bomb. I'm sure if I say it, I'm going to get in deep, deep trouble. We would do well to remember that in the Vietnam era, my colleges, the schools I went to were shut down by well meaning young people who had a political point of view, but they were destroying things, burning things and buildings. And so, of course, the reaction is violence by authorities. The best idea really is agree to disagree, non-violence. Agree to disagree and non-violently just discuss. Right now, there's a horrific undercurrent of far-right hatred and racism and all that going on. And I think the far left are also knuckleheads and unrealistic against business and so on. The fact that anybody would say anything against Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos if they're law-abiding citizens misses the idea that people bless them for giving them jobs. We're talking about 100,000 or more jobs, and God bless. You can become a billionaire or a trillionaire. Go for it. Anybody can do that. Got to be at the right place at the right time with the right thing. So finally, the biggest problem is that politicians really don't have qualification for life or commentary about life. They are professional politicians. They're really good at saying the thing you need to hear to vote for them. That's their job. I want more business people in politics, people who've run farms, who've created jobs and stuff, people who understand what life is about. I don't want to, again, I was going to say something that was going to get, and maybe there should be a new hashtag, because of the cancel culture and all that. Somebody should start a hashtag, go yourself. And a lot of people would join.
Oh, Kiss, you mentioned the dates next year. I mean, you've already come through Toronto. Why was now? I mean, look, the Stones are still going. The Who's still going. Paul McCartney. Why was now the right time to wrap it up?
Because I worship the ground Sir Paul walks on, and Jagger and so on. But if you took those esteemed gentlemen and stuck them into my outfit with dragon boots that are 7 and more inches high, we can easily snap your back. At the end of the night, you will feel the pain. Ask any female who puts on stiletto heels. She'll tell you her feet are killing her. Each dragon boot weighs close to a bowling ball. I've got about 40 pounds all in with the bass that I'm carrying around on stage. You got to do that for 2 hours, and you got to spit fire and fly through the air to the top of the light truss. Respectfully, if Keith Richards, who can't tell you how much I admire, got into my outfit, the gentleman would pass out in a half an hour. So the physicality of what we do, we are simply the hardest working band in show business, period. I could have been smarter. I could have tried to join U2 or the Stones or somebody, and if they'd have me, put on a comfortable pair of sneakers and a t-shirt, and you're fine. You don't have to break a sweat. So why do we want to quit? I'm 72, and I'll be and still have some goddamn hair. Blessed be whoever decided that, but I have a lot more on my back now. And now I've got Chewbacca ass. You know what that is? I've got so much hair on my ass, I've got to put a part in it so I can sit on there and do my number 2 business. That's a disgusting thought for all you people. And so the right thing to do is to have self-respect, and more importantly for the fans. By the time we're done touring, I'll be 74. We're doing the right thing by the fans, which is we have too much self-respect to stay on that stage a day longer than when we can live up to our self-mandated manifesto. You wanted the best, you got the best. The hottest band in the world. Kiss, not, hey, I remember when they were good fat, bloated Elvis. No, no, no. You should have quit earlier.
I did not know that you discovered Van Halen. That is something, and I'm a fan of both Kiss and Van Halen. That to me was wild. And then David Lee Roth was going to open for Kiss, or had opened some dates, and then you said no. We're going to go in a different direction.
Well, that is not accurate. It's false. David did come out on tour with us for a long time. We had a great time. Everybody had a great time. And then when the pandemic hit, we had a change of course. We got off tour, and David started doing other stuff, and we didn't do it. And unfortunately, every once in a while, I run off at the mouth, diarrhea of the mouth, and I said a few things that hurt David's feelings. And I apologized. I said I was completely wrong. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. I was just, do what I sometimes do, which is run off at the mouth. But as a statement of fact, no frontman ever, that includes Elvis, was ever able to do what David did as a frontman during the heyday of Van Halen. Nobody touched him. That includes even Paul Stanley. And now I'm going to hear from Paul.
And I can't get